Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Aphrodite, aka Madam Suave. If you are new here, I would like to welcome you to the community. Be sure to check the description box below and like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to. Remember that energy is timeless and fluid. This could be past, present, or future energy. Flip roles if they need to be reversed and only take what resonates, leaving the rest for who it is meant for, okay? So I know that you guys do see the title of today's message, and one thing that we have talked about on this channel before is Atlantis, okay, and the rise of Atlantis. And I want to mention something that happened as I was kind of deciphering through my downloads, okay? So you guys pretty much know how my mind works, or at least somewhat somewhat, okay? Now sometimes I do get easily distracted, okay, or at least I thought I was getting distracted. So I happened to kind of glance down at my leg, and for some reason, even though I have had this birthmark for a very, very long time, and yes, I will be putting up pictures up on the screen, okay? So I've had this birthmark for a very long time. However, for some reason, it seemed to be so much more fascinating to me on this day, okay? It's like I was looking at it extra hard, or I was like, birthmarks, I don't know, for some reason it looked a little different than, birthmarks typically look. Like, I remember people used to always ask me, like, what happened to your leg? Because, like, it is really big. And one thing I wanted to mention about my birthmarks, okay, because I do have a lot of birthmarks all over. And so I remember my mom telling me, like, as a child, that she had taken me to the hospital or something, and I guess it's normal for them to measure birthmarks, but they had measured all of my birthmarks. And at one point, I think that they were saying how they were gonna, like, call CPS because they thought that she was beating me. I don't know how you confuse birthmarks with beatings, and I was a baby at this time specifically, okay? So yes, I was a child, but I just want to emphasize that I was a baby at this point, okay? And I've kind of already spoken with you guys briefly. I did not go super in depth, but I did speak to you guys briefly about my history pertaining to all of that, and kind of like that time period leading up to a certain age, okay? So anyways, getting back to this birthmark, okay? So now I used to call this birthmark Antarctica, okay? I've been calling that since I was little. I've been calling it Antarctica. I think the first time that I actually, which this had to be what, I think first or second grade, where you start, kind of seeing, the globe, or looking at the globe and kind of like learning to like name all the concepts. Second grade, actually, yes. Second grade, I know it's second grade because I remember my second grade teacher, Mr. Khan. Now, I do want to say about my birthmark, okay? It does not look like all of Antarctica, but say you are looking at the globe, okay? And you're looking, if Antarctica is on the bottom, it looks like that little strip that you can see on the bottom of the globe, okay? And yes, like I said, I will have pictures up here so you guys will be able to see and understand why I was calling it Antarctica when I was little, okay? And I still call it Antarctica till this day. But why am I bringing up Antarctica, okay? And you guys, literally, that's why I say, like, y'all know how my mind is. Like, because I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't know, okay? But so it has been theorized that Atlantis was or is located in Antarctica, okay? Now, it is a theory, however, it is not one that is too hard to believe, okay? However, there are many theories, and so it does not necessarily, that is not what the message or is about, okay? That part kind of really doesn't matter right now, okay? Or that part is not really like the focal point part of the message, okay? But just stick with me, all right? So it is theorized that Atlantis was located in Antarctica, or could be located in Antarctica. Now, keep in mind that Antarctica is mostly water, okay? Because it is ice, okay? So now Antarctica is associated with portals, or it is known for, and a lot, what is it? I think people cannot even fly over Antarctica, okay? Or you are not allowed to fly over Antarctica. And I do not believe that that is for no reason. But like I said, okay, Antarctica is associated with portals. There have also been pyramids found in Antarctica, okay? Now, Atlantis was an underwater city and civilization, okay? And there was once a temperature climate that was habitable, okay? And if you see, and if you're looking at the location of Antarctica, it is not that hard to believe, all right? Now, why am I bringing all of this up? Okay, you have secret organizations that are initiating contact in the astrals, and they are perceiving you as a cryptograph to penetrate through portals and higher dimensions. So at this time, you need to be very keen and agonizing and descrying frequency congruities, okay? Their engineering is not as labyrinthine as your intrinsic codes, okay? So this is frequency access, okay? It is frequency access. So an incursion would infallibly actuate a signal. You are inordinately adept in configuration schemas and Empyrean tessellations. Granted, you are vaulting into more opaque and remote provinces and realms within the astrals, which induces chief reign of the submerged, okay? So now you may recall my mentioning of having high-ranking Masons and Eastern Stars in my family on one side and shamans on the other, okay? So now as I was kind of receiving and preparing to decode my downloads, I was receiving confirmation of their communication, okay? So as you are roving through new regions of the astrals, you have appointed torchbearers and master members piloting and establishing transmitter signals to subjugate assailants remotely, okay? So you are receiving multiple transcriptions at once, signaling occurrences in multiple realms, and you must conceive with the contracted impetus of each, being cognizant and sentient of which transcription is transcribed from which realm and corresponding to, okay? So you emanate emissions very distinct in medium that engages and exchanges emissions with beings in veiled realms operating within the ultraviolet region of the electromagnetic spectrum. So you are a phenomenon, unveiling phenomenon, as you unveil your reincarnation along with the recollections and remnants of every past life, beginning from the rise and fall of the most ancient civilization, okay? So you epitomize the very aggregate and plenary continuum of inception, void of polarity, seamless and absolute in omen. You are gifted with the endowment to perceive and weave threads of time within the fabric of the universe, allotting you the luxury to discern, decipher, and decode threaded sequences of time in the Akashic records of others. So this may sometimes feel more of an encumbrance in the onus to bequeath what is imparted to you in covenants, unbosoming the elements of the foreseen that has been unveiled to you for outlanders and those nearest and dearest to you. But you remain a firm bedrock for the unrelenting ushering and stirring of the paraclete to be solidified in exhibition as a seal in the attainment of divine decree. Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. What I tell you in the darkness, that speak ye in light, and what ye hear in the ear, that ye preach ye upon the housetops. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword. And though it be painful, may it also set you free. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. So that is the end of today's message. I am sending so much love and gratitude to you guys for being here with me in this moment, for being here on my channel, supporting my channel, and supporting me and my mission, okay? So if you enjoyed this message, or if you simply resonate with me, my channel, my energy, etc., I do ask that you like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, and I will see you guys all next time. I love you all so much. Bye!